Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, a show that focuses on local sports and faith. Includes thought-provoking interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures. Unashamed Bible discussion, and doggone it is popular, and it's entertaining, the WYK scoreboard. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
Good morning.
Doggy Becky B. Goodness. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being with us, because we've got a dandy with us. The head coach of the New Oxford girls lacrosse team, Jessica McIntyre. Goodness, the Circletown girls are dominant, undefeated. They're 13-0, sitting on top of the York Adams League standings, tied with the girls from the Rock, Paper, Scissors, the Susquehanna Warriors. Both the Colonials and the Warriors unblemished in league play. And just in case that's not enough, the New Oxford Colonials are carrying in their backpacks the number one. This is the loneliest number power ranking in all of District 3. How about that? Coach Jessica McIntyre from Circletown.
And you know what's even more exciting? We're going to add up that those girls are playing against each other the 28th this week.
Alrighty, there you go. Hey, also with us, Coach Joe DeCandeloro, Kennerdale's girls softball coach. How about those Rams, the Fawn Grove girls, 13-0. Goodness, sitting on top of the York Adams Division II standings, sitting second place in the power rankings in District 3 4A. And you know what? Just in case you're keeping score at home, you know, those Fawn Grove girls are averaging 9.8 runs per game, giving up 1.2 runs per game. You talk about
I think they're winning, yeah.
Injustice. My goodness. All righty, friends. Hey, thank you so much. It's just so nice to spend this time together. Hey, in the WYK scoreboard, we have games of the week and other scores, also players of the week in baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse, boys tennis, volleyball, and track and field. Does that make you tired, Becky B?
Oh, yes. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, lace them up for the most exciting 15 minutes of local sports. The WYK scoreboard is on deck. Hey, my friends, as Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans, for I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. Today, our Go Long topic is a call to the bullpen. Are you sitting in the bullpen right now waiting for your call? Pick up the phone, because I think that calls for you. Get up and stretch. The call to the bullpen is for you. We're going to talk with Christian author Charlie Arts about a call to the bullpen this morning, about 9:20 or so when we go long. Alrighty, throughout the weekend during today's show, my friends, please text your prayer request to 717-350-8591. Becky B will close today's show in prayer. She does every Sunday morning, and we just absolutely love praying for all the requests that come in. Alrighty then. You know, it's red hot. It's downtown Ollie Brown. Go to the refrigerator, open the door, grab the mustard, because this is the Grand Salami, a faith-based sports radio shows brought to you by Sports Radio, 98.9 FM, 1350 AM, WYK, first in York and first in sports. And also brought to you by our friend Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. You know, the real estate market is right now in the spring picking up steam. I know Kelsey Jean's busy. Touch base with her at Red Barn Home Decors. If you want your house to sell fast and more for the asking price, you want to stage that house. Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors. Alrighty then, you wanted it, you asked for it, guess what? You're going to get it. This is the WYK scoreboard. Ladies and gentlemen, power up, ready, set, it's go time for the WYK scoreboard. It's go time. That is. It's go time. Alrighty. And the York Adams baseball game of the week. How about those Golden Boys, the Eastern York Golden Knights, over the Cigar Town Boys of Red Line, as Eastern York wins at Red Line, at Eastern York, I should say, by a score of 4-1. You know, Eastern York hung 2 on the board in the second. Then they hung another pair up on the board in the sixth as they won 4-1. Both teams had 5 hits. Red Line led by Reagan Coombs. He had 2 hits, a ribby. He also had a 3-bagger. Connor Ray, 1 for 3. He had a double for the Red Line Lines. Eastern York, though, I tell you what, the guys, they just play good baseball. On the mound with the pill was Quinn the Eskimo Bramble. He went 6 innings, only giving up 4 hits, no earned runs. whiffed 7, just giving up 3 free passes to Quinn Bramble. At the plate, going long with a tater, with a jack. It was a long ball for Blake Boyd. He was 2 for 1, 1 ribby as he goes downtown. Ollie Brown, and also with a 3-bagger, Matt Vitale was 1 for 3. Another ribby by Everett Dites. He was 1 for 3, but had 2 ribbies at the plate.
Alrighty, and Cedar Cliff and Dallastown faced off on Thursday. Dallastown traveling to Cedar Cliff, where they were shut out by Cedar Cliff. Cedar Cliff winning this one 5-0. Chase Snyder had 2 hits for Dallastown. He was 2 for 3. Chase Myers pitched 2 innings. He gave up 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 2.
All right, York Catholic hung 5 runs on the board in the second inning as they win over the York Tech Spartans 8-2 for York Catholic. A pair of hits. Connor Latriano was 2 for 3, 4 ribbies and 2 hits. He went downtown. Ollie Brown did. Connor also with 2 hits was Vince Buscalini. He was 2 for 3 and a ribby. On the hill, pitching a nice game, Kyle Harmon. He pitched 6 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, whiffed 8 in his outing.
Hanover defeated DeLone Catholic 5-4. Hanover was led by Jaden Payne. He went 2 for 2 at the plate. DeLone Catholic's Matthew Nummert had 3 RBIs for DeLone, while Aiden Groff, Zach Staub, and Chris Coyle each recorded 2 hits.
All right, Friday games in the York Adams League. The Papertown Boys, the Spring Grove Rockets win by 1 over the Waynesboro Boys. The Waynesboro Indians 6-5. Ethan Allison led the Rockets, going 2 for 3. He had a triple, 3 ribbies, crossed the plate 2 times as he scored 2 runs. Ryan Jenkins was 2 for 3 with 2 ribbies for the Waynesboro Boys.
And Susquehannock defeats York Suburban 3-2. For the Warriors, Lucas Coleman went 1 for 3 at the plate. He hit his first home run of the season, driving in 2 runs. Freshman southpaw Owen Seibert struck out 10 and allowed only 2 runs through 6 innings in that 3-2 win. Matt Jameson came in relief for him. He allowed no hits or earned runs.
All right, and Aunt Nellie grabbed him by the ear, drag him out behind the woodshed. Oh, I hate to even say it. A good old-fashioned whooping game of the week. The Northeastern Bobcats over the Central York Panthers by a score of 12-1. Connor Bissinger on the hill with the pill for the Bobcats. He pitched 6 innings, giving up only 2 hits, no earned runs. Connor Reisinger for Northeastern was 3 for 4. He had 3 stolen bases, scored 2 runs, and also had 2 ribbies. What a nice day for him, as he also had a great day pitching and a great day at the bat. You know, that was the highest number of runs Northeastern put up on the scoreboard all season long, a 12 spot. How about that?
Woo! Okay, well, New Oxford also rattled their bats and went down and had some hits. They defeated West York 9-0, and New Oxford has averaged over 7 runs their last 2 games, and 6 of their wins this season, they won by 6 runs or more.
All right, a great event in York this weekend, the 2026 WellSpan Health Crushing Cancer Baseball Classic played at WellSpan Park in York while the York Rebs are away. Becky B, tell us a little bit about it.
All right, well, this event actually builds on the efforts of Greg Kinnaman, the varsity baseball coach at Dallastown. He created it in 2024, and it's just been growing since. Unfortunately, rain kind of dampened the event. But on Friday evening, it started out with Penn State York and Penn State Mount Alto with a doubleheader. The Penn State York won both of these games. It took them 8 innings for the first game, but they ended up winning 5-4. And then in the second game, in their regular 7 innings, they won 6-5. Kennerdale beat Dover 3-0. There was no score at all for the first 5 innings, but then Galvin Holmes who also was the pitcher for Kennerdale, who racked up 12 strikeouts to keep Dover off the board, and Anthony Laux went 2 for 3 with 1 run, 1 double, and 1 RBI for Kennerdale. We have no report on the West York New Oxford game or Bermudian Biglerville game, but the Dallastown Red Lion game was postponed because of the bad weather, and they will play at 5 o'clock today.
Right. Well, at WellSpan Park.
At WellSpan Park, get out there. Admissions $10 for adults, $5 for students, all for a good cause for the Cancer Health
Great
Fund.
cause. Hey, the envelope, please. The Go Long Baseball Player of the Week from the York Adams League, a Golden Boy from the Eastern York Golden Knights. How about senior Blake Boyd. He had a pretty daggone good week against Delone Catholic. He was 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, had a ribby. Then against Susquehannock, he was 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, had a ribby, had a 2-bagger also in that game. And then against Redline, he was 1 for 2, 2 ribbies, scored a run, and also went downtown. Holly Brown did Blake Boyd. What a week.
What a performance.
The long baseball player of the week, Blake Boyd, the Golden Boy. Blake Boyd, the Golden Boy. He's got a little ring to that, right?
Golden Knight.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
the Golden Boy. All right, hey, New York Adams League, here's what it's shaking out to look like. Redline and Northeastern's, just a half game back of Redline. Redline 6-2 in league play. Northeastern 6-3, just a half game back. The Stangs, the Southwestern Mustangs 5-3, full game back, but they're in the hunt. And then the Wild Things, the Dallastown Wildcats are 5-3 also, so
It's anybody's.
It'll be interesting how this thing shakes out in Division 1. I'm looking forward to it. Division 2, the Circletown Boys in New Oxford are 8-1, followed by the Kennerdale Rams, half game back at 7-1, and then the Golden Boys of Eastern New York, a full game back at 7-2. That's going to be...
Another close one.
Yeah, pull out the marble bag and reach your hand in, see what cat's eye comes out there. And then in Division 3, hey, a little bit different situation here. The Eagles of Bermudian Springs, they're kind of running the table. They have a 10-0 record. Do the Eagles, the boys from the Apple, capital of the world, the Biglerville Canners, with a 7-3 ranking. All right, quick look at District 3. Your Catholic third power ranking with a 7-6 record. In 3A, Bermudian Springs sits on top of everyone in 3A with that 14-2 record. The boys from the Apple, capital of the world, they're putting their Foley food mill in their backpack when they're hitting the road jack. They have a 9-5 record to the Biglerville Canners. In 4A, the Kennerdale Rams sitting second in the power rankings, 13-2. The Golden Boys of Eastern New York with a 5th ranked power ranking with 13-3 record. Then in 5A, how about the Circletown Boys, ranked number 9th, 10-6. Spring Grove, the Papertown Boys are sitting right on the edge of getting in. 12 teams will get in that 5A bracket. They're sitting with a 7-7 record, or the Papertown Boys. Go, Spring Grove. And then in 6A, here's what it shakes out. Top 12 teams will get in there. Dallastown, the Wild Things, with a 10-4 record, are ranked 8. The Stangs, the Southwestern, playing out of the corral. They're 10-4 are the Stangs, and Redline with the 12th seed at 8-6. Alrighty, Becky B, let's shorten the diamond a little bit. Go to the 60-foot diamond.
All right, in the softball game of the week on Thursday, held at Redline. Redline faces off against Hempfield, and this one was tight at the beginning. After one inning, they were both tied up at 1-1, but then Redline started putting runs on the board and got another run in the second, another run in the third, and 4 runs in the sixth to win 7-1 over Hempfield. 2-hit batters for Redline, Alyssa Leidy, who was also the pitcher, Ella Honecker, and Michaela Yelton, and Ella Bisher, all with 2 hits. Doubles by Jada Struth and Ella Honecker. Lillian Trout had a 3-bagger and helping out herself on the mound.
Yeah.
Alyssa Leidy had a ding-dong dinger also for Red Lion. Okay, Alyssa Leidy pitched all 7 innings. She gave up 6 hits, 1 run, and 1 earned run.
All right, you're listening to the WYK scoreboard. Hey, lace them up. The best 15 minutes, the most exciting 15 minutes in high school sports. Friday, girls softball. The Circletown girls, the New Oxford Colonials, man, they tattooed the Carlisle Thundering Herd. What do you really do to the Thundering Herd, the Bison, by a score of 15-1. That game took place in Circletown.
All righty, Central York Panthers are beating Northeastern Bobcats 16-5 on Friday. Central is now 10-6 for the season, and Northeastern is 2-10. Central York had 17 hits in this game. Madeline Sowers was 3 for 4 at the plate with 3 runs scored. She also pitched 3 innings and allowed only 1 earned run. Marley Daly was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and 1 run scored. Katie Gable had 3 RBIs, going 1 for 3 in her bats. And for Northeastern, Savannah Lopiccolo was 2 for 2 with 2 runs and an RBI.
All right, how about those dogs? The West York Bulldogs over the Papertown girls, the Spring Grove Rockets, by a score of 10-4. In the circle, a dominant pitching effort by Maddie McGlynn. She led West York, striking out 11 batters over 7 full innings. You know what? The Bulldogs had 2 dingers, both of them off the bat of pitcher, Maddie McGlynn, she also finished with 3 ribbies. How about that?
What a game for that girl.
Oh, yeah. You know, when you rip it 2 of them over the fence, that's having a pretty good day. And she pitched a full game as well. Alrighty, 7. It was just spreading it around. It was a hit parade in West York as 7 different West York players had at least 1 hit. Delaney McGlynn was 2 for 4, 2 ribbies. Jasmine Nasir was a standout for the Papertown girls. She was 2 for 3, 1 run, 3 stolen bases. Maddie McGlynn, complete game, 2 ding-dongs. Wow.
Pretty darn good, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say.
All right, the Kennerdale Rams traveled north to face the Dover Eagles on Friday and left no doubt in anyone's mind. They beat Dover convincingly 15-0. The winning pitcher, Taryn Ashenfelter, who we've talked about before, pitched 4 innings, struck out 8 batters, and allowed only 2 hits, no earned runs. Carly Bosick went 3 for 3 with 3 runs, a triple, and an RBI. Maddie Arrigo went 3 for 4 with 3 runs, a double, and a stolen base. And as if pitching was not just her strength, Taryn also went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs.
All right, hey, the girls from the Rock, Paper, Scissors, the Susquehannock Warriors with a little Rochambeau over the York Suburban Trojans, shutting them down by a score of 12-0. How about that? Ella Wetzel for the Warriors. She picked up the win. She gave up just 2 hits, whiffed 12 batters over 5 innings. Also, you ready for this? Ella Wetzel, 4 for 4 at the dish, 5 ribbies, 2 runs scored, and guess what? Here's the pitch. Ella Wetzel offers. It's high. It's far. You can count it as downtown Ollie Brown as Ella Wetzel goes long for the Warriors and dominant in the circle as well. Macy Mitten, she was 2 for 3 with 2 ribbies, and Callie Shue also was on base, scored 3 runs, stole a base, and hey, shout out to sister Maya Wetzel, sister of Ella. She had her first 2-bagger of the season as the Warriors win over the Trojans 12-0.
All right, now this is a crosstown rivalry. Dallastown faces off with Red Lion, and Red Lion comes out on top of this one, 5-3. And then Southwestern convincingly beats William Penn 17-1. The Go Long softball player of the week.
I want to
All
hear
right,
this.
well, there were a couple candidates, and most of them
Yeah.
were pitchers this week.
True,
But
true.
Taryn Ashenfelder, who the Kennerdale pitcher, struck out 11 and allowed just 2 hits in a non-conference shutout win over Middletown. Then she went 4 for 4 with a pair of doubles and 3 RBIs to pass 100 hits for her career in a win over York Suburban. And then on Friday, if that wasn't enough, she pitched those 4 innings with 8 strikeouts, 2 hits, and no earned runs. And she's just a junior. Okay.
Incredible.
All right.
Yeah.
She has been such a force for the Rams this year. They're undefeated here and 15-0, sitting on top of Division II at this point.
Alrighty, hey, here are the standings. Central York, the Panthers are 8-1, just a half game up with the Stangs. The Southwestern 8-2 in York Adams Division 1, 2 games back. The Cigar Town girls, the Red Line Lions in Division 2. Those Rams unbeaten, 9-0 in division play, 2 games back. The Warriors of Susquehannock, the girls from the Rock, guess what? There are only 2 losses, you might guess, came from at the hands of the Farm Grove girls. And then in Division 3, the Smallsville girls, the Littlestown Thunderbolts, 11-0, 1 game up on the Bermudian Springs Eagles with a 9-1 record. Quick look at PIAA District 3 Single A. York Catholic with the 2nd seed, only 2 teams get in. They only have 1 win, but they're probably going to get in this thing. In Double A, it's DeLone Catholic with a 7-7 record, sitting 3rd in the power rankings. In 3A, the Smallsville girls, the Littlestown Thunderbolts, with the number 3 power ranking. The girls from the Apple capital of the world with their Foley Food Mill, sitting 7th in power rankings with an 8-4 record, are the Bickerville Canners. And then in 4A, Kennerdale ranked number 2. Big Spring on top. Fleetwood Becky B, your Fleetwood Tigers are 3rd power ranking with a 13-1 record. Eastern York 7-7, the 10th power ranking. 12 teams will get in there. In 5A, Solico is the only unbeaten team. They're 14-0. The Susquehannock 5th in power rankings with an 11-3 record. Dover 14th, just sitting on the outside looking in, as well as New Oxford right now hoping to get in this thing. in 6A Central Dauphin, the Rams lead everybody with an 11-1 record. The Cigar Town Girls, the Red Line Lions, 11-4 with the number 6 power ranking. The Wild Things, the Dallastown Wildcats, are in at this point with a 6-7 record. Becky B, you got about 30 seconds to update us on the York Revolution, because then we are going to go long. Can you find it, Becky B?
I think you kind of came up with this one.
We'll pull it out of the last page there, Becky B.
Alrighty.
Right at the end of the thing, if I think you got it. But hold on. It's almost time to go long. So, guys, this is live radio. We got 36 pages of notes here. So Becky B's trying to fumble through to find it all, but here it is, Becky B. No, it's not. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'm going to go anyway to the southern end. Okay, and we're going to talk about boys lacrosse in the York Adams League Game of the Week. Kennerdale faces up with Susquehannock at Susquehannock, and this one was a close squeaker of a game. Kennerdale ends up beating Susquehannock 7-6. Scoring goals for Kennerdale, Tyler Mack led the pack for Kennerdale. He had 3 goals. Adding single goals was Aiden Alex, Ryan Green, Max Comfeller, and Hayden Orem. And also Ryan Green also had an assist. And for Susquehannock, leading with 4 goals was Jacob Burns. He's just a junior. Sam Bella added a goal, as did James Parks. Looking at the goaltending stats for Kennerdale, Tate Pop had 14 saves, and then Brady Parks from Susquehannock had 26 saves.
All right, well, Becky B, still lots to go in the WOYK scoreboard, but you know what? Every Sunday morning about 9:20 or so, it's time to go long, and with us is Christian author Charlie Arts. Charlie, good morning, buddy. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mac. I'm doing great. How are you? How are you, Becky?
Doing well.
Hey, today our go long topic is a call to the pen. First of all, Charlie, do you know where the bullpen where the name bullpen came from? It's a quiz.
I do not.
Doggy, that might be the first trivia question I ever got him on. How about that?
Could be.
All right, it goes back to the late 1870s. Can you remember those pictures of the early baseball games where they didn't have fences, they had ropes out in the outfield. So they roped off a standing room area in foul territory to put the relief pitchers in there. And one reporter said it looked like cattle in a pen out there. How about that? The bullpen.
And Mac, you are etymological genius. That's what you are.
Well, you know what? And that was a little bit different time. People would come in coats and ties to go to the ballpark in the 1800s. True. Even in the early 1900s.
Artie, let's do that. Let's show up with a big hat and coat and tie one day at the ballpark. How about that?
You go ahead. I thought you gave up ties when you retired.
And a coat and tie, and Tater will come along, and he'll have one of his Texas cowboy hats on.
I love it. All right, hey, today our go long topic is a call to the pen. So the question is, are you sitting in the pen right now, waiting for that call from the dugout? Are you waiting for that call from the pen? And let's talk about it, the call to the pen as it relates to our Christian faith. Charlie, start it off.
Well, start it off. Okay, so when I was thinking about this and praying about it yesterday, I realized in order to be able to receive a call from the bullpen, you first have to have gotten the call to the big leagues, and that's like our salvation.
I like it.
That's when we're called, because Jesus said many are called but few are chosen, and what he meant there was the invitation to salvation is broad. Yeah. And not everyone is going to respond, but we want everyone. Our desire for everyone is to repent, to come to faith in Jesus and walk with him. So that's the first step, is to get called in, and then you get your call. You come into the game, right? It's a high leverage, high stakes situation. So then what do you do? What's the Lord calling you to do with what he gave you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. When you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and your Savior, you have to be open to sometimes accepting things that you don't really expect that you are able to do. Like you think of Moses, who said, "Oh no, I can't do that. I can't speak. I'm not a leader." And God said, "You are," through that burning bush. And look at what Moses did with his life. Can we do something even a fraction of that?
Yeah. From we could read many verses, but be ready, right? Be ready. If you're in the bullpen, you just can't sit out there and jacking around. You gotta be watching the ball game, studying the batters. you got to be ready. From the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 35 and 36, be dressed, ready for service. Keep your lamps burning like servants waiting for their master to return from a wedding banquet. But Charlie Arts, we got to be ready.
We have to be ready, Mac. And so like Becky was saying, like what has God given you? Something special, because he gives something special, a special gift to every one of us who come to faith. And we got to be ready to use it, not out of, and this is a big thing for me that I wanted to share with the folks who are listening. It's not about a duty. It's not about an obligation. It's because you want to come in, you want to come in and throw some gas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You could think of, I bet you and I could sit around for like an hour and think of 1,000 metaphors. Like you already had a couple, but God is the ultimate relief pitcher, right? Sometimes if you're at home and things just feel overwhelming and you're just not sure about how you're going to get through what's currently happening, man, pick up the phone, pick up the Bible. God is the ultimate relief pitcher. He'll come in and save the day for you, Charlie. How about that metaphor?
Oh, I love that. I love that, because Jesus said in early John, and then on the cross, he said, it is finished. So who finishes the game but the closer? Yeah. So the closer finishes it, and that's where we go. That's where we go for whatever we need, for our faith, for walking through difficult circumstances, for dealing with anything that's coming at us. We go to the closer.
Yeah. One more, maybe not just one, but I always saw, because I coached American Legion baseball for many years. And I always
said American League.
American League. No, American Legion. Yeah. And one of the most difficult decisions I think every manager has is, what is the right time to go to the pen, right? What is the right time, the right person? And when I think about that, it kind of is us trusting in God's timing, right? You got to trust that God has his own timeline for what's best for you. Even when you're facing difficult times, you got to trust in our Lord that his timing is perfect. Charlie?
Trust is everything. It's filled through all the Psalms. Trust in the Lord, because he is our strength. Absolutely. And we have to trust his timing.
Yeah.
And he often, I think, he does. He has a clear sense of when it is time and when it's not time for us. And us having trust and the patience to wait on God's timing is sometimes very difficult.
Yeah. And one more thing. What was the movie? The closer comes in. Gone at the funny baseball movie. But anyway.
The one that's the Cleveland Indians.
Big League. Yeah. Can you think, what's the name of that movie? Charlie. Anyway, but Charlie Sheen comes in, right?
Yes.
So, but anyway, relievers, when you're a closer, it's the bottom of the ninth, and it's a pressure situation, as you talked about earlier. And I want us to reflect also that, our life often is filled with those pressure situations as well, and that's the time. That's the time. I challenge all of us. I challenge myself during those situations. We face them every day. I know you do. I know you do, Charlie, in court situations and everything. But that's the time really for us to show our faith and show our love. Live as Christians. It's Major League is a movie. Becky looked it up. And live as Christians in those challenging moments. What's your thought on that, Charlie?
Well, in the challenging times, we have to be able to answer God's call, like in the book of Isaiah, when he said, I heard the voice of the Lord, whom shall I send, and who will go? And Isaiah said, here I am, send me. So we have to listen in those challenging times. We draw strength from the Lord. It's not in our strength. He says when you're weak and you're in him, that's when you're the strongest. And you can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah, and 2 Timothy chapter 2 verses 1 and 2 talk about having a community of support, having reliable people that you can trust that will be teaching others. And I know Becky B will especially appreciate that. So that, that's really what the bullpen is there, right? To support the starters. And Becky B, tell us your thought there.
Absolutely. I have a group I call my prayer warriors, who are just women of the faith who I can call on at any time, at any way. That when I'm struggling, I can talk to them, I can ask them to pray for me, and they are willing to step up and be there with support all the time.
Yeah. Charlie Arts, a call to the pen. You get the final word, buddy.
Final word. Once you call on the name of the Lord and you're saved, then we walk in fellowship with him. We walk with him, and we find our purpose. And we just go in love and delight. Walk in his authority, in his power. Be fearless, and there's no stress. If you're walking in the Lord and you're completely connected to him, I don't think there's any stress. So we just come in from the pen and relax and throw whatever gifts and fire that we have. And think about this: who feels the most pressure, right? When you're watching a game and the Orioles are up to bat and it's a tough situation and the other team's closers, and you feel the stress for your team, the Orioles, right?
Absolutely.
Right, but the team that's the opponents, the fans of the opponents, are feeling the stress of the relief pitcher. I just realized that. We're always feeling stressed in the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
Let's turn that around in our faith, in the power and authority that Jesus gives us, and just go.
I love it. All righty, Charlie Arts. Hey, Charlie, we got a YouTube thing going on. We got a Faith in Baseball things going on. Tell us quickly about it.
Faith in Baseball. It's on YouTube. Faith in Baseball with Mac and the Chisel. We talk about baseball, we talk about Jesus, and we love baseball, but we love Jesus more. Tune in, folks. It's all over the place. It's on Instagram, social media, YouTube. We have little short clips that are played, and we just bring both of our passions, and we know that baseball, that revival is going to come through baseball. Mac, amen.
Amen. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back with Jessica McIntyre from Circletown, the New Oxford girls lacrosse team, unblemished, unbeaten, carrying around that goose egg in the loss column in their backpack. We'll be right back after we hear from our sponsor, Red Barn Home Decors.
Daryl Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207. You have 20 people that you like, right? Or you at least know 20 people. Bring them to a Rebs game. Co-workers, your kids' team, church friends, or that group that never actually hangs out. A night at Wellspan Park is the perfect excuse to get together. Build your own group. All it takes is 20 for the group discount, and it comes packed with great seats, great food, and great baseball. Knock your next outing out of the park and visit YorkRevolution.com to book your group outing today.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA promote the highest ideals of good sportsmanship in interscholastic athletics. Always remember to respect student athletes, coaches, contest officials, and game administration to help promote a safe and positive game environment. Together, we can foster a community of good sportsmanship. For PIAA playoff and state championship tickets, head to PIAA.org.
Welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. We're going to Circletown for the New Oxford girls lacrosse head coach Jessica McIntyre. Just, Coach, you have a long history with the girls lacrosse program at New Oxford. You're unbeaten, 13-0 overall, having a great season. Tell us about your team, Coach.
Oh, my gosh. This team is most definitely the most amazing team I have ever coached. Last year, we made history, lots and lots of historical records, our first time ever making it to counties, our first time being top 4 in districts and qualifying for states. It has just been an amazing ride, and these girls just want to take that momentum from last year, use it as a stepping stone, and just continue to break records this year.
Well, Coach, not only are the girls doing amazing, but you have a fairly young team, don't you?
We do have a fairly young team. At the moment, we have one starting senior. The rest are juniors, sophomores, and we do have one freshman starting. And it's going to be even more amazing next year. I just can't believe the way this team is. They're just so awesome. Such a cohesive unit. And with their experience at the varsity level as such a young team, it just makes it more miraculous.
Well, your athletic director said, they are just a very special team. Tell us about some of the leaders and some of the milestones that your team's hit.
Well, the first girl I'd like to talk about is Cam Cohey. I've had the pleasure of coaching all 4 Cohey sisters. Cam is the third one. She is our lone starting varsity senior. And so far this year, she has broken her career 300th point. And she also broke our school scoring record, which was held previously at 256 goals by Braxton Redinger back in 2016. And currently she has 274 career goals. So she has broken that, and she's sitting at only 69 at the moment in just 13 games.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I was just looking over some things, and I'm like, that's only in 13 games. Last year she had 87 in 20 games.
Wow.
It just, I know. She is just an incredible athlete. She is everything you want in a midi. She comes to practice and is always working to make the midfielders better. She comes with all kinds of new draw drills or just circle drills, and she just wants everyone around her to be successful. And that is what you want in a player. Besides her, the other 2 midfielders are both sophomores, Delaney Stonecipher and Bella Needle. Delaney last year was our freshman that was just unstoppable. And this year as a sophomore, she is just continuing that streak. Last year we called her our unicorn because her speed, she is most definitely the fastest kid in York and Adams County. Her speed is just so incredible. In 13 games, she's sitting at only 55 goals, but her draw controls is incredible. She's already at like 103 draw controls. Bella Needle, we have to backtrack. We do have a co-op with 2 other schools. So we have Bermudian Springs joining us with 2 girls, and Bella Needle's one of them. And we also have McKenna Johnston, who I'll talk about. But we also have a co-op with Delone. Now, we do only have 1 starting varsity from Delone, but we have about 9 players from Delone. But you would never even know we have 3 different schools. There's such a cohesive, family-oriented group, and they all want each other to succeed and do well. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Coach, one thing that caught my attention is not only you're winning games, obviously, with a 13-0 overall record, but you've won the close games. On April 16th, you beat York Catholic 17-15. April 14th, you beat York Suburban 14-13.
Oh my!
It takes a special quality for teams to do that. What's the special sauce there, Coach?
The special sauce is grit, determination, and hustle. They have, at the beginning of the season, like we had done, the team bonding stuff and things like that. And not only that, but they decided goals. I'm like, all right, what do you guys want for this season? What do you want to achieve? And they're like, oh, we want it all, coach. And I'm like, okay. They're like, we want counties. We want our name on a banner, not having an empty banner hanging in the gym. We want to win districts, and we want second round of states. Like, we want it all. And they want it, and they're going out and getting it at all costs. When you spoke about York Catholic, that was the first time in school history that we've ever beaten them. So they're always such a tough team, and we just wanted it more. Yeah. And I mean, York Suburban is also having a stellar year. They have some senior midfielders, and they wanted it, but again, we wanted it more, and we worked together so well to achieve that. It's just, I mean, those tight games are what makes or breaks a team, and we came out on top.
We're speaking with Jessica McIntyre, New Oxford girls lacrosse team, unbeaten coach Tuesday night, taking on the Susquehannock Warriors, also unbeaten in league play. What a matchup that is, right? One for the ages, maybe.
It is definitely one for the ages. We did get a chance preseason at Chambersburg. They held a play day, so we did get to play them for about 20 minutes, but we were down 2 starters. So I'm really hoping that we come out on top, because that would be another historical achievement for New Oxford. We've never beaten them in our school's history either. But I mean, we've also, in previous seasons, we've only ever had 13 wins. So to have 13 wins at this point it's pretty remarkable.
Absolutely.
I just hope we keep going.
All righty, unbeaten New Oxford girls lacrosse. I'm telling you guys, Jessica McIntyre, just a long history with the New Oxford program, is everything that is right about high school sports. Great coach, great person, great leader, great mentor for these young ladies. Coach McIntyre, thank you so much for all you do. We appreciate it, and we celebrate you and the New Oxford girls today on Go Long.
Thank you so much for having me.
All righty, guys.
Yep.
All righty, yep, go Hawks. All righty, Becky B, still more to do on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's go back to other lacrosse scores from this week. On Thursday, West York and Dover match up. Dover comes up 13-11. Central York beats Eastern York 17-7. Dallastown loses to Red Lion in that rivalry. Red Lion 11, Dallastown 4. New Oxford 16, Southwestern 11. Spring Grove 13, York Suburban 4, and York Catholic tops Stallone Catholic 9-6. Looking at the standings for this year, New Oxford and Red Lion all knotted up at the top. They are both 10-1. Spring Grove is 9-2, as is Central York, and then Southwestern 7-3, and Kennerdale 7-4. Let's look at the power rankings for the boys lacrosse.
Yep, go ahead, Becky B. First of all, hey, thank you for that report. Hey, power rankings double A. You're looking at Kennerdale ranked 6th with a 9-5 record. York Suburban 10th. The Warriors of Susquehannock 11th. 12 teams are going to get in that District 3 playoffs coming up in the near future. And then in 3A, New Oxford, the Circletown girls are 5th. And then also Central York 9th. That's boys lacrosse, I should say. I got to mention this. When you talk about lacrosse, York College, the men lacrosse team, currently ranked number 3 nationally.
Wow.
NCAA Division III in the NCAA Power Index rankings as of April 23rd. How about that? 15-1 overall, 6-0 in the MAC Commonwealth. So good for them, right? Becky B, the girls lacrosse game of the week.
All right, girls lacrosse, let's go to a crosstown rivalry. We have Dallastown versus Red Lion on Thursday, and Dallastown defeats Red Lion with a final score of 16-4. Dallastown sure celebrated their senior night. Okay, Brianna Federer from Dallastown had a hat trick with her 3 goals. Addie Markey also had 2 goals as well.
Alrighty, another girls lacrosse scores from Friday. It was Governor Mifflin over Central York 14-5. Hempfield, the Black Knights, over Southwestern the Stangs 16-5. The Papertown girls of Spring Grove win over Conestoga Valley 11-4. And the York Catholic Fighting Irish blow out Daniel Boone was a man by a score of 24-2. Again, as stated, New Oxford 10-0, Susquehannock 10-0, York Suburban 9-1. That's a look at the girls lacrosse standings in the York Adams League.
Alrighty, and let's go now to the boys tennis tournament. Now this also was factored in with a little bit of rain adding to the festivities. Okay, looking at the tennis tournament in the AAA singles bracket, there are 4 men left standing. Brian Sherb from York Suburban and James Anderson from Dallastown are going to face off for that singles championship that will be held on Monday. And then facing off for third place will be Ryan Steele from West York and Compton Speck from Southwestern. In the AA bracket, as Friday's results, Wesley Crumling and Cullen Wesley's from Eastern York and Cullen Nickenemy from Hanover are going to face off for that championship. And in the third place bracket, Jacob Ickowitz from Susquehannock and Colin Kuhn from DeLone Catholic are going to be in the third place match. Okay, once again, the doubles had a little bit of sprinkle added, but they were able to fit in some things on Saturday. We are down to the final teams. Left are James Anderson and Narvin Joshua from Dallastown, Wade Hoffman and Patrick Cavanis from Southwestern, Gio Rossier and Chris Meyer from Spring Grove, Compton Speck and Ben McCommon from Southwestern, Nathaniel Erickson, Holden Depew from Dallastown, Camden Kelly and Keenan Lynch from Red Lion, Becklin Miller and Stephen Colson from Dallastown, and Ryan Steele and Kevin Wu from West York, and that is in the AAA bracket.
All right, Becky B. We're going to take a break. We got to take a break now. We'll get back more. We're going to go to Fawn Grove in a little bit to talk to the Kennerdale girls softball coach, Coach D. Candeloro. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor, Red Barn Home Decors.
Darrell Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207. You have 20 people that you like, right? Or you at least know 20 people. Bring them to a Rebs game. Co-workers, your kids' team, church friends, or that group that never actually hangs out. A night at Wellspan Park is the perfect excuse to get together. Build your own group. All it takes is 20 for the group discount, and it comes packed with great seats, great food, and great baseball. Knock your next outing out of the park and visit YorkRevolution.com to book your group outing today.
Hey, Doggy Dog, welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough, with me, Becky B. We're going to go to Fawn Grove for the Kennerdale girls softball coach, Coach Joe D. Candeloro. Coach, wow, unbelievable, unbeaten. What a great season you're having. Can you tell us about your team, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts from the top down. We have a great AD with Brad Keeney, and I have great assistant coaches. I kind of entered the program, later into the before the tryouts. So, it was definitely eye-opening to have a new team with all this talent. But they've just, they've answered the bell, and they just do a fantastic job every game.
Coach, a stat that caught my attention is you're putting up over 9 runs a game, almost 10 runs a game, and you're just barely giving up 1 point something runs per game. I mean, what an incredible run difference. It shows you have pitching, you have hitting, you have defense. You look at that and you think, goodness, they got the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year they had a great run, but a lot of their games are very close. Every team comes and plays us tough, and that's the great thing about softball. Competition breeds better competition, and it doesn't matter what the team's record is. Every team will really come and bring it to us, so they definitely challenge us. But, the girls answer, and that's the great thing. Our philosophy this year was that we were going to score more runs to give our pitchers just a little bit more depth. As a pitcher, when you have 4 or 5 run lead, it makes your job a lot easier.
Well, Coach, you have some seasoned players. When you look, I know Taryn Ashenfelder's only a junior at this point, but she has been dominating since her freshman year, as has Marty Arguero.
Absolutely. She's just incredible. The way she approaches the game, pitching is one of the hardest things to do. I think softball in general is one of the hardest sports that you can take on. And her work ethic is incredible. She goes out there and she works hard, and she loves the competition. She's got a drive to her, like a pitcher needs to. I love watching her work. And not only that, but she's a great hitter. So she's kind of a two-way player, which is really incredible. And, her catcher, Addie, and the rest of the girls are just, everybody supports her. And this year we wanted to have a total team concept and not just rely on Taryn so much.
Coach, I looked at you can't look at Taryn Ashenfelder without saying, okay, tremendous, softball pitcher, hitter, like you said, one of the best in Pennsylvania. She might be one of the best in the nation. I mean, you look at those stats. I looked up the other day, one of the best pitchers in the nation in softball is like 2.1 strikeouts per game, and Taryn's not far off that pace.
No, per inning.
I'm sorry, yeah, and Taryn's not far off that pace of being one of the best in the nation.
Yeah, she's incredibly good. Different competition. It's all over the country you deal with different competition, but. Yeah. Again, I think she's just hitting her stride. That's the great thing about her. Like, she's a junior, and she's kind of just really starting to hit her stride. And the game is mental as well. This is a very big mental game, and her physical ability has always been there, and her mental ability is now catching up to that. And I think it's just, with every athlete, it's maturity, and the more she matures, the stronger she's going to be. I think, like I said, we just reached the top. We haven't reached the top yet, but she's going to continue to grow, and she's going to be even better as she goes on.
Okay, now, Coach, let's look ahead a little bit. You still have a couple games to go in your division, but let's look ahead at counties. We have Littlestown sitting undefeated as well in Division 3. Are they the real deal?
I think so. They have great coaching. I've dealt with their coaches for a long time. I've been doing travel softball for about 17 years, so we all get to know each other, and I think they've always have a good program. They have great coaches. That run that organization. So, we totally expect them to give us competition along with everybody else. And, we look forward to it. It's great for softball.
Well, my friends, the Kennerdale softball team is the real deal. Sitting unbeaten. Coach is just putting up runs, shutting down people, playing great defense. I think you got all the tools that it takes to win championships and go deep. I don't want to put the pressure on you, but Coach, you just got a great team and you're doing a great job. And Coach D. Candelaro, I'm friends, in case you don't know, also already has won a Division II Coach of the Year award at Susquehannock, and you're everything that's right about high school sports, Coach. You're a great teacher of the game. You're a great mentor. You're a great leader. You do it the right way, and you're right. You're doing it for a great athletic director at Kennerdale as well. So good luck in the future. Keep moving forward, Coach. We're really proud of you, and we celebrate you today on Go Long.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on, and thanks for everything.
All righty, Coach. Have a good day, bud.
You too. Take care.
All right, this is Go Long. Still more scoreboard to go. Becky B, how about kick it off with boys volleyball?
All right, the boys volleyball game of the week. Dallastown defeated Central York. This one was such a close one with a final score 3-2 in varsity boys volleyball. All right, both of these teams are in the top 10 of the Pennsylvania Volleyball Coaches Association poll leading up to the clash. And Dallastown wins the first one, 25-22. Central York takes the next two sets, 18-25, 22-25. And then Dallastown comes through with 25-23 and 15-12. It can't get much closer than that.
Now, here's what I point about that. But if you add those total scores up in those 5 games, 107 to 105, Suburban actually wins by 2. Isn't that interesting?
Suburban didn't play. It was Dallastown.
Yeah. Central York by 2. I mean, isn't that interesting?
That is
Central
interesting.
York by 2. Right. Okay. Goodness.
All right. TJ Talley for Central York had 22 kills. And then Shivish Jathwa from Central York handed out 48 assists. with 4 kills, 2 blocks, and 13 digs. Dover loses to Eastern York 3, Dover 0. TJ Bazinas from Eastern York had a game-high 12 digs, 8 kills, and 4 aces, and Aaron Hildebrand from Eastern York had 18 kills to go with 7 digs and 1 ace. New Oxford loses to Spring Grove 0-3. Luis Garcia from Spring Grove had 37 assists, 13 kills, 4 digs, and 4 blocks, and Zane Lawrence had 12 kills and 2 aces. All right, other scores: York Suburban 3, Kennerdale 0, Northeastern 3, Susquehannock 0, West York 3, York Catholic 0, and Red Lion 3, William Penn 0.
All righty, York Suburban sitting on top of the York Adams League with an unbeaten 10-0 record, just 1 game back. The Wild Things, the Dallastown Wildcats, 9-1, 2 games back, Central York and Northeastern. You know, the Ray Kesey Invitational is just one of the premier annual high school track and field meets hosted by Dallastown. That was on Friday. 21 teams attended the Ray Kesey Invitation this year, 15 from the York Adams League, originally known as the Dallastown Invitational. The event started in 1987, but in 2019 they renamed it to honor Ray Kesey, former head coach who led the Wild Things from 1980 to 1994 and again in 1998. All right, some winners. The Central York team of Alexander Dodson, Charles Megan, Nolan Wilson, and Maxwell Marcini in the 4x800. They set a meet record to win. The Dallastown Wild Things of Anthony Osiero, Gabriel Annan, Christian Rodriguez, and Christian Crominati, they won the 4x100, set a new meet record as well. And then Anthony Osiero, Christopher Crominati, Christian Rodriguez, Gabriel Annan, and the 4x400, the Dallastown team also wins the meet record. 200 meters will won by Gabriel Annan of Dallastown. 110 hurdles, Marcus Edwards of Redline. The triple jump by Chance Keithan of Redline. Patrick O'Brien, the Susquehannock Warriors, won the pole vault with a 12.6 jump. Jake Roskovetsky of Dallastown won the 1,600 meters. Cage Shayan of Southwestern won the high jump. Cameron Thomas of Dallastown won the long jump, and Drew Thompson of West York won the 800 meters.
All right, and on the girls' side of the competition, the Dallastown team of Nina Anderson, Olivia Cleaver, Mariah Black, and Molly McLaughlin ran the 4x100 to break the meet record in 47.97. The West York team of CJ Henry, Lexi Weaver, Zoe Henry, and Min Young ran the 4x800 to break the meet record, and the West York team of Lexi Weaver, Lily Weaver, Zoe Henry, and CJ Henry won the 4x400 title. Scarlett Arnold from Southwestern won the 400 meters. Ella Bond from Spring Grove did about everything you can. She won the 100 hurdles and broke the meet record. She followed that with a 300-meter hurdle meet record, and then she finished off her night with a meet record in the 200 meters. Okay, Madison Eister from Southwestern won the javelin. Maddie Marks from Susquehannock wins throwing the discus. Molly McLaughlin from Dallastown won the 100 meters and to break the meet record, and she also won the long jump. Leah Navarro from Dallastown won the 3,200 meters. Annalise Renner from Kennerdale wins the pole vault with a height of 11.6. Melanie Toman from Dover wins the shot put. All right, now the Go Long Track and Field Athlete of the Week is Spring Grove's Ella Bond. She is a standout for Spring Grove. She has already committed to Princeton University, where she'll continue her track career. Now, she has shown dominance all 4 years. She is a 3-time Pennsylvania state champion in the 300-meter hurdles and in the 100-meter hurdles last year as well. At the Jack Ruddock High School Track and Field, she set a new school record in the 400-meter dash. As well, her hurdle personal best is 13.64 seconds in the 100 and 41.98 seconds in the 300 at the PA State Championships.
All right, catch your revs today here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. Daryl Henry, the best there is, will have the call beginning at 1:40. Becky B, closing prayers you do every Sunday morning.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you and praise you for this time together, and we thank you and praise you for all the many gifts that you have given us, and thank you for the gift of sports and the gift of competition on all of the coaches and athletes that we are able to watch here in this area. We just praise you for all of them, and we just thank you for the coaches' leadership. We just ask your blessing, Lord, especially continue the healing of those that we've prayed for in the past. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Becky B. And now, my friends, I want thank you so much for being with us every Sunday morning as we celebrate the accomplishments of all of our local athletes and coaches and other sports figures here in the central Pennsylvania area. And we do it in a faith-based way, and it means so much for us to have this time together. And now, my friends, we want to wish you the best, and we tell you that God's blessings be with you. And when you get the call from the pen, pick up that phone and answer that call. My friends, this is Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying go long.